Hello again, and welcome to another Last Week's News Today. I'm happy to be less busy and well enough to be able to do these videos once again. I hope you've all been quite well. It's the beginning of August, which means we're about 3 weeks away from Phase 3 in Ashes of Creation, but probably still too many weeks away from my dear Summoner class. Anyway, the PTR is still going strong with it being up 24/7, barring any updates or server shenanigans that may occur, of course. Don't forget that anyone with Alpha 2 access can hop on there and check out some newer things, including a delightful way to get a rare mount skin over this last weekend. There were 4 ways to get it. One was to have the most gold acquired, another was the most raw materials, another the most adventuring experience gained over the play period, and the last was successfully identifying major exploits and being the first to report it with reproducible steps. Hopefully in the future they do a few more little delights like this. It's pretty cool, and congrats to those who've won. Next, it sounds like dynamic gridding is on the way to being ready for Phase 3 in some form or another. Zach mentioned that they've had better luck with it running smoothly, so let's hope that they will have it ready to go for us. They also mentioned how they've already swapped over to Unreal 5.6, which is what is currently on the PTR. Their reasoning for the engine update was that performance and stability would be much better, and that the game would be in a better overall place. Specifically, it had crashes in the older version for NVIDIA 3000 and 4000 cards that 5.6 didn't have. Margaret also mentioned that they've been analyzing the time to kill with all the help that testers have been doing, and they're working on early gameplay flow, including how fast players obtain mounts, tools, and finding their first questing hubs. They want to start doing major testing with that in the anvils, hopefully sometime in the coming week on the PTR. They've also kept a close eye on node progression and player behavior data so that they can make improvements on that front as well. And finally, they've got guild storage working on their internal build, so they're hoping to have more info on that soon. Next, Stephen and Margaret clarified that they aren't adding anything extra to their plate as the reason for the delay of Phase 3. Some of their teams needed a bit more time to be able to hit the milestone that was set for it, so they are getting the time that they need to get that done. From working on the anvils, the first time user experience there and in the Riverlands, to node level 4 and the vassal ship systems. Then they spoke about the QA process with Hector, the senior test manager, who went on to introduce us to their team, who all sound like dedicated and awesome people. We were shown how they deal with bugs and bug reporting. Their preferred method is, of course, /bug in-game, as it gives them quite a lot of information right off the bat. Also, being able to reproduce any of the bugs that you report will help them out tremendously. Of course, being as detailed as you can is the way to go as well, even if you cannot reproduce what happened. They also wanted us to know that they have to prioritize major and game-breaking bugs that affect the majority of the people, like dynamic gridding over something like the tank grapple. Finally, we got a look at the new town node and the brand new crate system with Bill Trost, the director of design, and Chris Justo, the node man. Nodes are generally broken up into cells, whereas the village that we've seen is about 2 cells, and the town is double that, with a whopping 4 cells at the moment, so player houses have the potential to double that cell size yet again. Now the crate system has replaced the old cargo system that was used to transport goods via caravans. The reason for the change was so that players weren't always in menus when dealing with the system, so that it feels like you're hauling these heavy items around. Players can put the new crates into caravans or carry one on their back, but their movement speed is reduced while doing so. There are several different types of crates. The first one is personal, which lets you put your materials in. Construction crates that are used to help with projects around the nodes and freeholds. There are commodity crates to take between nodes to try and make some cold hard cash, which, by the way, players can open up a pricing window that lets them see how much they can make at nearby nodes with what they are carrying. And lastly, they mentioned relic crates as well that could be of the small or medium variety. They showed us as well that players will have to take their construction crates directly to the station that they want to upgrade and place them there themselves. I like the look of the new system, and I hope that it doesn't feel too cumbersome in the long run. Afterwards, there was a brief Q&A with nothing too crazy in it, and that's it for this week. See y'all next time.